If you didn't know, at the Annecy Film Festival in 2024, it was announced alongside the Adventure Time movie actually coming, 2 new series would also be releasing. One being titled Heyo Bimo, that seems like it probably won't be coming now as Cartoon Network's preschool block, Cartoonito, got shut down, but then also another series titled Adventure Time Side Quest. This series builds on the heartfelt storytelling, playful humor, and richly creative world of the first show, tapping into the spirit of its early seasons with lighter, self-contained adventures designed to introduce a new generation of fans to the Land of Ooo, while giving existing fans more of what they love. The series delivers standalone, silly quests and playful challenges that celebrate the joyful chaos of Finn and Jake's adventures. Whilst there was no information on it for a while, besides the fact that it was still in the works and that Finn's voice actor would be different, just 2 weeks ago we actually finally got a big reveal that was honestly kind of shocking, as they posted our first look at the series, showing us not only that it would actually be fully in a different art style, but also that the release date is actually June 29th of this year, which is now only 3 weeks away. But now we actually have even more information about the series, as at IGN Live 2026 yesterday, they actually previewed the first 2 episodes early in their entirety to people who attended the panel. And so, of course, now we have a review of these 2 episodes telling us what they will be about and if they're good or bad. But also through that, generally what we can expect out of the series for episodes after it, and whether that means the series will be good overall. Firstly, the reviewer, Cartoon Universe, states, "We weren't allowed to film or have our phones out, but the show was cute. I adored the art style. It was definitely a departure from the more serious tone a lot of the recent AT shows have had. So the art style that has people concerned that it will be bad and or just different from the original series is at least good to them, and or something that doesn't really affect their viewing pleasure, but if anything, probably just raises it. Adventure Time changes its animation style in many episodes, so honestly off the jump, seeing it look different didn't feel all that strange to me. But of course people are going to have their concerns, but hopefully this eases them a little bit. But anyways, they then also point out Finn's new voice actor being different, which is another thing that's of course making fans concerned that it won't be the same. But they state that they got used to it pretty quickly. I am really curious to see how much they are able to replicate Finn's voice. But now, moving on to the first 2 episodes of Adventure Time Side Quest. The first episode featured Finn and Jake. Finn was at an event and starting to feel bad about his noodle arms. He decided to take up using the crossbow because it is something he was able to do without much training. But a character named Boyish Boy didn't like Finn using the crossbow. Eventually, they do a challenge to win Princess Bubblegum's favor. Of course, Finn does end up winning. Finn having an insecurity about his arms being noodly at a young age is pretty interesting, not only as a thing to touch on as a subject for relatability for viewers, but also because he of course ends up losing his arm in the future and is pretty much just okay with it, and or comes to believe that having a robot prosthesis is cool. I mean, he was even dreaming about himself looking like this in season 2. Him having this insecurity just gives an even closer look as to why that really is. Also, having Boyish Boy, who is clearly going to be Manish Man's son, a character from season 1, challenged Finn for Princess Bubblegum to declare whether Finn should use a crossbow or not, truly makes me wonder why, if he also won against them, he just never really uses the crossbow in the original series, besides that one time when he shot at Banana Man. Nonetheless, this episode truly sounds like it's straight out of season 1, and or like it will kind of be a precursor to the episode The Enchiridion, which is one of the best episodes in season 1, so it should be a pretty good start to the series. Episode 2 was Son of the Goblin Queen. This one was about Ice Queen getting an online girlfriend who turned out to be the Goblin Queen. But before getting to really meet her, she needed him to watch her son, who turns out to be a huge menace. Ice King recruits Finn and Jake to help, but they are also overwhelmed. After a while of dealing with the child, Finn and Jake convince Ice King to break up with the Goblin Queen. When she comes to pick up her son, we can see that she's actually an amazing mother and everything was just just a big misunderstanding. Ice King really regrets breaking up with her and of course tries getting revenge on Finn and Jake. At first this had me confused as it sounded like this meant that Fiona and Cake's characters would just be and ooh with them, but I'm assuming that Cartoon Universe just accidentally put Ice Queen at the beginning and meant to put Ice King. Nonetheless, if that is the case, I'm pretty shocked that Zergiok managed to get a wife. But anyways, Finn and Jake babysitting just an evil goblin baby reminds me heavily of the episode where Mordecai and Rigby have the babysit deaf son. If this is anything like that, it should be very fun. Overall, these two episodes sound pretty good and truly like they are early Adventure Time episodes. Revisiting back to this time period in the show is truly going to feel surreal, but at the same time incredibly nostalgic and fun. Cartoon Universe also states that it was fun despite it seeming like it's for a younger audience, which we already knew, but also that he hopes there will be some lore sprinkled in, which of course we can only hope. If we don't get any actual big crazy lore reveals, the whole series does kind of work as lore in a way, so I am personally so excited to see this series when it releases on June 29th, as well as so ready to cover it here on the channel. But be sure to let me know what you think about side quests and the plots to the first two episodes down in the comments below. As with that said, that is going to be the end of the video, so consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one, whenever that is.